Domee Shi decided to set Turning Red in 2002 because she has a lot of nostalgic and fond memories of that era. That's a time when it's from the era when there was a big boy band craze, and when cell phone usage was starting to become widespread, and the main girls, Maylin, Abby, Miriam, and Priya, sure, they might act like your modern day girls on TikTok, but you have to remember, Turning Red is set 20 years in the past, so yeah. Domee, she has fond memories of that era because they weren't worrying about things like social media, and they had a lot more in-person interaction instead of playing games on their phones at home. It's too early for YouTube. And yes, I'm going to say it. Turning Red is set in the month of May in 2002. Actually, it's kind of a funny coincidence. It's set in the month that also sounds like the name of our main character. Because it's the month when the Ford Town was coming to Toledo and Toronto. And what the heck is Toledo? What the heck is Toledo? Yeah. My point is, Mr. Enter, you have to listen to this. Or, if you know Mr. Enter, show this video to him. Domee Shi had Turning Red take place 8 months after the 9/11 terrorist attack. So, yeah, in spite of the tragedy that happened the year before, in spite of that terrible tragedy that happened in 2001, Domee Shi's family, I assume, moved on from it really quickly, and they probably moved on from it. They're probably able to move on from the shock by the next month, and continue with the life as they normally do. So if Domee Shi can still have fond memories of 2002 in spite of what happened in 2001, 8 months earlier, then yeah, I don't really have a problem with Turning Red not referencing 9/11 at all, and how it radically altered the culture of the time. That's why you see no COVID-19 in Amphibia when Sprig is wearing a face mask, covers his mouth. And remember, and Mr. Enter, Turning Red is much more nuanced than Disney packaging your values and selling them back to you, or having a gay wink and a nudge that they can remove for international audiences, like what happened in the live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast. Turning Red is about an ambitious group of an all-female writing and production team who fought super hard to get their voices heard and tell a pretty edgy Pixar story about puberty. I mean, I've never once heard any Pixar film talk about things like the perv, or use words like perv, or talking about things like gyrating and stripper music. Really helps Turning Red capture the authenticity of how inappropriate teenagers can be. However, if Domee Shi responds to all of the memes that came from the mysterious Mr. Enter, wrongfully calling out Turning Red for not mentioning 9/11 when that happened 8 months ago, I could see Domee Shi asking Disney Plus to commission a prequel short film to make fun of Mr. Enter and these memes. I could see Domee Shi in half a year from now making a Disney or even just one, or even just or actually it was more plausible to be, or a full year from now, if that would I think that would actually be kind of cool if Turning Red had a prequel short film up to I think that would be kind of interesting if Turning Red had a 10-minute prequel short film. Okay, a short film that could be up to 10 minutes long. A short film that's up to 10 minutes long about how Maylin's and her friends and family's reactions to 9/11 and how they got over it, and how they got over it by New Year's Eve. Which of course would also lead up to the beginning of the movie, where they take that New Year's Day picture at the beginning of 2002. I mean, think about it. Other Pixar movies have had a companion short film on the DVD, like Monsters Inc. had Mike's New Car. The Incredibles had Jack Jack Attack. The Incredibles 2 had Auntie Edna, and Toy Story 4 had that short film on Disney Plus that's not part of the Forky Asks a Question short series, Lamp Life. Now, personally, I do not think Turning Red should, under any circumstances, make a short film about... Turning Red should not have a prequel short about 9/11 unless Domee Shi wants it to, because of how silly everyone is for bringing back 9/11 jokes through Turning Red, just to make fun of Mr. Enter and other people like him who complain about the wrong things with Turning Red not having enough 9/11 in it. I mean, I think it's okay that Turning Red didn't reference 9/11 at all, unless unless 9/11 is the reason why they have a school security guard at all, to stop Ming Lee from trespassing on school property when she wanted to give Maylin maxi pads. I mean, why should Mr. Henry get upset over the school over not having Ming be arrested when, there's no reason for him to call that inaccurate when when this really happened to Domee Shi in 2002, I mean, I guess that's why I think that since Domee Shi made Turning Red to as an animated retelling that reflecting on how she grew up as a teenager in 2002 and her and the nuances of an Asian mother-daughter relationship. I guess she could write another short Turning Red story about 9/11 if she wanted to recapture her personal experience with 9/11. Before 8 months before Malin turned into or maybe 6 months, however many months before Malin turned into a panda for the first time in 2002 and got red hair. That's my take on the whole Turning Red 9/11 controversy. I don't think it should have a short. I don't think it should have a short film that's as long as this video about Malin and her friends' experience and panic with 9/11, unless Domee Shi actually wants to do that, in spite of or because of all the Turning Red 9/11 memes that Mr. Enter caused. And I guess if Amphibia was as edgy as Turning Red, they could have done a whole thing about Anne Boone Choi using a lily pad to cover up her first period. But I'm very thankful that Amphibia didn't go there. Because to talk about Anne pissing that just goes way beyond Amphibia's normal level of grossness. And I'm sure it would also be gross for Turning Red to show blood like that too, which is why they didn't. So, what do you think about Turning Red? Do you think Domee Shi should? Do you think Domee Shi should or could make a prequel about Turning Red? About Turning Red's characters reacting to 9/11, or do you think such a topic is better left unexplored with Turning Red? Because I'm not really sure myself. Could be interesting, but also maybe it's too dark. But maybe the creator wants to do it to show us how she reacted to 9/11 before the main story of Turning Red took place. So yeah, because there are two sides to every issue here. But case in point, I'm eternally grateful that Turning Red, the main Turning Red movie, did not reference 9/11 at all. I mean, it's okay for Mr. Ender. I mean, it's okay with me for Mr. Ender to criticize other possible anachronisms of the film, like the types of cell phones and cameras they used in 2002 that they probably couldn't have, but I draw the line at him talking about criticizing Turning Red for having an anime style that wasn't mainstream in 2002. That's way too far for me. Mr. Ender I just don't like and respect how Mr. Ender is way too critical of this movie and didn't bother to finish his top 10 video of the best advertising campaigns and Unlisted Part 1. If I someday buy the rights to animate Atrocity and Admirable Animations from him, so I could continue Admirable Animations, I'm also going to The deal should also include the top 10 best advertising campaigns because they want to finish that video for him if he has a complete script of it.